I brought a story for you. Here it goes. Stone soup. Once upon a time, there was a little village. One day, the village blacksmith saw some soldiers appearing up the top of the hill in the main gate. And he went running up the main street, yelling, "Soldiers! Soldiers are coming!" Well, before he could say, "Where did everybody go?" the villagers had disappeared from the streets. You see, there had been other groups of soldiers who had returned from the war, and they had come to this village and stolen what they wanted from the poor villagers. And even worse, they had not asked because they knew the villagers would say no. And the villagers were now afraid that there was going to be more robbery in their streets, and so they wanted to hide it. But one of the dozen soldiers coming down the hill, they were weary, they were dusty, and they were hungry. Yeah. Their leader was a tall, red-haired Irishman named Sergeant O'Hara. They were shocked that there was nobody on the streets down there, so they decided to make stone soup. So they filled their kettle with some water. After a while, the fifth soldier named Private Hickenbottom tasted the soup, and he said, "This is getting tasty, but she's missing something." Then he said, "I know what it is. We're missing onions." Now, in the third house on the left, in that little village, lived old Mrs. Snodgrass, and she was quite a cook. She could hear him complaining about the lack of onions. She knew there was nothing worse for a really good cook except to be in the middle of cooking your best recipe, only to find you were missing an important ingredient. She finally took pity on him. Still, she was afraid of going out to see the soldiers, so she compromised. She grabbed a bunch of onions from her pantry, opened the front door, threw the onions out on her front step, and slammed the door shut. It all happened so quickly, no one could see it. No one, that is, except Sergeant O'Hara, who was very quick himself. And he brought the onions back, and they went into the kettle. After another hour, Private Hickenbottom again tasted the soup, and he said to his huge assistant, "Big John, you take a taste." Big John, the 12th and final soldier, stuck in a huge spoon and took a little taste. Then the huge man said, "It needs beef." Private Hickenbottom said, "Sucks, that's a pity too. We've had no beef for the last 3 days." Now, in the 20th and final house on the right lived the mayor and his wife. Both of them were wonderful cooks, and the mayor carried along some beef. He cleared his throat and said, "On behalf of our entire community, I should like to present you with this beef." Sergeant O'Hara asked, "By any chance, might you be the mayor of this Brewer Metropolis?" The mayor replied, "I am indeed the mayor." The soldiers said, "Thanks for your offer of the beef, and why don't you pull up a chair and join us?" Soon the mayor's wife came out and sat down with him. And then one by one, the villagers came out of their hiding places, because now they could see that the soldiers really caused no threat at all. Every few minutes, Big John or Private Hickenbottom would sample the soup, and Private Hickenbottom said, "I'm going to make some stone soup without carrots." Big John said, "I think a little celery would work." And each time one of the villagers would jump up and say, "I got some celery," or "I got some turnips," and run back home, and in 2 minutes be back with that missing ingredient. At last, as the sun went down for the night and the moon appeared over the horizon, the soup was ready. Yeah. After eating and drinking, they sang far into the night. Then the soldiers asked, "Isn't there a loft where we could sleep?" "Yes," said the villagers. So the first 4 soldiers slept in the priest's house. The second 4 soldiers slept in the baker's house. And the last 3 soldiers slept in the mayor's house. In the morning, the whole village gathered in the square to give the soldiers a send-off. The villagers said, "Many thanks for what you have taught us. We shall never go hungry now that we know how to make soup from stones." The soldiers replied, "Oh, it's all in knowing how," and off they went down the road. The end.